Yes,
We ready?
we're ready. We're ready. We ready.
Okay. So this is our Be the Change, long-awaited presentation. Yeah. Okay. So this is what happened. So we all got together one day. We were gonna build the most of the treehouse. So we all got together and went to Home Depot and bought a lot of supplies. It was like $180 worth. We have the picture of the receipt later. And it was like plywood and some 2x4s and then some screws because the screws we had weren't long enough. And so that was enough to get like the majority of the construction done. And so then we took Balls' truck and we loaded it up and drove it to the spot very precariously. And then we carried it down, and then we started building for a little. We were building for like an hour and a half, and then Hayden had to go, so he walked up to his car, and then we get a call from Hayden, and he's frantically yelling, "There's a cop, there's a cop." So there was a cop parked outside the entrance to the forest thing, and so we were like, "Oh shoot, should we run? Should we like pretend like we weren't here?" And then we were like, "No, there's no way it's for us. Like, why would he even come to be talking to us about?" So we just kept building, and then we see the cop walking, and we're like, well, it's too late to run now. So then he comes up, and this next slide shows what he says. Can you click the blue link? We might need to watch the video a couple times.
Yeah,
You can't hear it, so.
Yeah.
Well, he's got subtitles, it's alright.
I subtitled it, yep.
Yeah. You gotta turn up the volume.
Could you not make it full screen? That's a
Oh, we made it short.
It automatically
What did I do?
Joke.
Turn it up.
Tell them what it says.
So the parks, the dude is like, so this is a park, and I'm like, uh-huh. And then he was like, and we cannot build infrastructure inside of the park. And I was like, uh-huh, and Wilson like, uh-huh. And then the cop was like, so, and then Zach says, oh. And then he goes, we are not going to be able to build a clubhouse, which is disrespectful. This is not a clubhouse. This is an executive treehouse project, not a clubhouse. So you can see him for a little glimpse, but we have a picture with him also on our slide. Yeah. Devastating. There's all of our wood sitting on the ground. Half of that's not even our wood.
Yeah, there was kids building before us.
Yeah, okay, we can go back to the slideshow. Okay, so if we go back here, there's the cop. There's Josh, Wilson, me, and Zach.
Yeah, I get to
So,
That was pretty buzz.
so we talked to him for a little more, and so he was kind of cool about it. He was like, well, this looks really fun. I wish I didn't have to like tell you guys to tear it down, but apparently someone called and was complaining about it. And so then he was kind of like explaining why we couldn't build on a park. And so I found a website explaining why you can't build tree houses in parks. And it was talking about, like, some people think it's dumb that you can't build in parks, and then it said, however, there are several key aspects that should be considered as to why there are such heavy restrictions and application processes. Some of these are safety, upkeep, insurance, and vandalism and misuse of the treehouse. And so then he told us we were going to have to take down all the wood that we had put up. So we had put up almost the whole floor, and so we had to take it all down. And then we also had to move the wood, including all the wood that was there from previous people who were building treehouses that got shut down, obviously. And so we started moving the wood.
And it was our second attempt.
Yeah, it was our second attempt, too, at the treehouse. So we had to move that wood, too. And then we mentioned like that was for a school project, and he was skeptical at first, but then we explained it. And then he mentioned Sandy Beautification Day, which is kind of like a day where members of the community can come help clean up parks. And that's on next slide. Beautification. So on the Sandy website, this is what Sandy Beautification Day is about. It says, the Exchange Club of Sandy began Sandy Beautification Day in 1984 to inspire the residents of Sandy to take pride in their homes and neighborhoods. Every year, Sandy Beautification Day brings an opportunity to provide service in our neighborhoods, parks, and other projects. This event occurs each year with the sponsorship of local businesses and the involvement of local schools, religious groups, and other service organizations. But then when we went to the website after we moved all the wood to sign up, all the signups were full, so we decided to clean up our own community instead.
Yeah.
Beautification of Smithfield Park. Since we couldn't participate in Sandy's organized beautification day, we did one of our own. at Smithfield Park. So we grabbed a bunch of trash bags and some gloves, and we went out. This is like the park kind of by the skate park. There's like a river in it. We went and we just started cleaning up a ton of trash. In addition to like helping ourselves, in addition to helping the environment and serving everyone else, we were helping ourselves by just being outside. So there's a study from Yale University talking about how spending 2 hours outside each week is like amazing for your health. So that's what we did instead of building a treehouse.